All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachak. Double honor to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone who teach, guide, and rule well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hope for elect. Shalom unto you. All right, I was just checking out this video, and actually it popped up after another video had went off. This is just what happened to come on next. And when I returned to the room from what I was doing, it was getting, toward the end of the video, when I caught something that I was like, hey, that's a lesson. Something that I saw or that I heard. The host of this show, the name of the show is Charleston White Torches Saucy Santana. IG bitches are fake women, right? And he goes into it, and this is Too Tough Juan, right? Check it out. I'm gonna use this fair use. If this is your thing, check it out. But you may have to. I might check this guy out. I can't say I'm subscribed just yet, but because this ain't necessarily my thing. I've heard quite a bit of Charleston White, and he's not my brand of entertainment or education. Okay, but he does speak some truths. And so you give credit where credit is due, but only where it's due. All right, but the host says something that it can easily be backed up by the Bible. All right, which when I play it, what he's going to say is Amos 3:3, and there's other scriptures as well. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Okay, so let me play what he said without further ado, right? It is because, well, you'll understand the gist of it once I play the video. Fair use.
You know what I'm saying? Man, Charleston White, he on it, bro. You can hate him, you can love him, you can disagree, you can't agree, but sometimes he just makes sense. You feel me? Sometimes he makes sense when you playing with demons, when you playing with other people that don't really follow your path. They energy get left behind, for sure. It's like when you go smash a bitch and she ain't no good for you, and then a week later your tire go flat. Then a week later, your stove burned down. Then a week later, your barber mess up your hairline. It's the same thing. It's that energy.
All right, and that's the point that I want to hinge on. He goes on to say more about it, but that's the point. Okay, when we're discerning who we should be around and spend our time with, hey, we don't have time to be hanging out and hanging around bad, especially as late in the game as it's getting now. We can't. It's just getting to that clutch time, man. We can't be spending our energy around non-believers or half-ass believers, man. Okay. And you still got to make certain appointments, family members, and sometimes you have friends that are on the fringe and on the outside, and you don't want to completely cut off a lifeline. But at some point, it's gonna come a time where you're like, hey, nigga, we moving on, as the apostles and their elders have said. Okay, nigga can't get it. We moving on. We got to keep moving. They're gonna have. You can't seek them out. You can't hang around them because I don't know if it was him or Charleston that said it, but I think it was the gentleman right here, and he was like, or the individual, I should just say, PC. But it should just that you got to know that there's some times where just being around the bad energy or the negative energy of somebody that's not on the path that you on, and the path, what's the path we're on? We're on the path of salvation. We're on the path of doing the things that the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son through the Holy Spirit are telling us through the book to do. That those that seek salvation will be doing. Those that are building the temple, the third temple in the ministry, are doing. Okay? And sometimes somebody will come into your life and they're really just there to waste your time and your energy. Okay? They're not really there to make your situation better. And we shouldn't be spending mass amounts of time with people that aren't moving in the direction that you're moving, because if y'all moving something and y'all trying to work together on something and he going east but you going or he going west and you going east, hey, ain't nothing gonna get done. Okay? And that's why it says here in Amos 3:3 again, can two walk together except they be agreed? We're on the same path. And even sometimes that path, you got to know when to cut that path off. Sometimes you walking down the lane or down somewhere together and y'all on the same path, but they step off the path. We know that path is that straight gate. Okay, it may get too difficult for them. They bow out or they step to the side or they sit it out or whatever the case may be. But you still in the game and you got to perform. It's the clutch. Okay? So I'm going to let him speak a little more about it, but that was pretty much the point. I should be doing what the apostle do and mute it with the and put the caption on. That's how you get away with it, right? That seemed to be working. Matter of fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it at what he said. Okay, and you wonder why sometimes bad energy come around. You wonder why if you around somebody emotional, even though you pretty stable minded, but all of a sudden you get caught up in an emotional situation. Okay? It says, matter of fact, I'll get it. Okay, Galatians chapter 5, verse 9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And you may have worked on yourself and been able to control your folly, but you go around those that have the same folly or even a different folly, and that folly being around them is now stirred back up. That demon that was on you now comes back around. And now you got to fight it off again. And it'll cause a lot of hindrance to your work. Okay? That's why we got to keep the eye single. All right? And what's the single eye facing or looking at? The goal, man, which that goal is salvation, which we know the path to salvation. The scriptures are clear about what we got to do to get salvation. Okay? Which that's a different video, but we know that that's what it is. So the point of this video is just to remind us all and admonish us that, hey, be cautious who you spending mass amounts of time with. Sometimes your woman may not be the one to spend a lot of time around. Okay, and we know that from 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter. Okay, you got to keep your mind on tending to the Lord. Okay, trying to stay focused on that. And they going to whine and complain and you're going to have trouble in the flesh and all these other things. Yeah, cares for the world, but you got to prioritize, right? But when you walking in the way of somebody that just ain't on the path you are, man, they'll push you off into something far worse, into just bad energy. And you wonder, like, damn, what's going on, man? What's happening? Why is this happening to me? Well, you allowed a little leaven to be around. It said the worldly one to this one is a bad apple spoil a whole bunch. Okay, and that's why we are so tight over here at Great Millstone at vetting each other. Okay, and examining ourselves whether we be in the faith. All right.
A week later, your stove burned down. All
right, so I'm gonna try that with the apostle do and see if that works. Closed caption and then the value. Yeah, bad energy. Now I'm gonna play this guy.
It's the same thing. It's that energy. You know what I'm saying? You hang around bad people. You feel me? You kicking it with them. You doing all this and that. Eventually, that energy is gonna rub off on you in some way. Whether it's making decisions in your life or whether it's doing certain actions. Yeah, you might be able to hang with the gang members, with the gang bangers.
Economists calling.
Yeah, you might be able to hang with the gang members, with the gang bangers, with the killers, the robbers, the demons, the trappers, the strippers, whatever your vice is, whatever it is. Because we all got vices and we all got dark secrets that don't nobody know.
And we all got folly. Okay? The scriptures tell us to hide your folly, especially between other men, and giving no blame, giving no offense that the ministry be not blamed. Okay, so you don't want to get caught in situations hanging with your homeboys or whatever, or your friends or your homegirls or single friends or whatever the case may be, that you end up getting into something with them because they can't control themselves, and now you out there and you look like you somebody that can't control themselves. Okay, the Spirit is only going to warn you so many times if you in this thing here. Okay, before you realize I got to get away from this shit, right? Let me get a couple more scriptures. This one's a good one. I like this one. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Now let's go into the blue letter of that. All right, and we're going to get into NLT. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Be not fooled by those things by those who say such things, for bad company corrupts good character. Okay? Showing you hanging around the wrong people, too much now. Are we supposed to, when we come around, Jake in the world that ain't in the circumcision, or what's the other, those that are without, as the scriptures say, there's a certain way you got to conduct yourself. Okay, it's not to say you Mr. Goody Two Shoes. That's not the thing. But you don't have to come down to their level to relate to them. And there's a way, there's a vernacular, there's a certain era a way that you carry yourself about that. And it ain't to be high-minded and conceited and all of that. It ain't about that. Talking down to people, it ain't about that. Okay, it ain't go, yeah, so you know what the scriptures say. You ain't got to do that either. Okay? But you got to know when and when not. Okay, when to separate yourselves from that. And this more so for us that are in the know. We don't hang around people of the world like that. Now the family, we can't really control that at all times. Okay, sometimes some brothers can, but not everybody can control that. So myself, when I am around family, I know when to cut it off. Oh, we about to step outside and smoke. All right then, I see y'all when y'all come back in. Oh, we about to go down to the bar. Well, I'm just running to the store. Or I already ran. Look, the difference. I already ran to the store and I got me something. I got a little personal. Y'all more than willing to have some. I asked y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all act like y'all don't like, cognac or rum or wine or whatever. So okay, you go and do your beer, whatever. Go and do your thing. And it should be okay. All right, because there's those family members, as there are people of the world that we were once connected with, that we got to be able to say, hey man, it's all right if I'm not around you. Okay, and one that we mentioned at camp yesterday, I believe it was this one, 1 Peter the 4th chapter. So I'm gonna read it in let me get down to verse 2. 3 is the one. I'll read verse 2. 1 Peter 4 verse 2. The point is in 4. It says, you won't spend the rest of your life chasing your own desires, but you will be anxious to do the will of the Most High. You have had enough in the past of the evil things that godless people enjoy. Right? This is the NLT version. Their immorality and lust, their feasting and drunkenness and wild parties, and their terrible worship of idols. These holidays, man. When you come to these holiday feasts, or basically idol worship, even though you don't worship those idols, being in that energy can get you effed up, man. Okay? Could put bad energy on you. Anyway, verse 4 says, of course, your former friends are surprised when you no longer plunge into the flood of wild and destructive things they do. So they slander you. Okay? They tell SHIT when you don't want to partake in the BS no more. Okay? But that's where you cut it off and you leave it there. And that's a good thing. All right? And that's a good thing. So many of our people need to be surrounded by other people, or need certain, I need this around, I need that around, I need these people, I need this amount of people around. You got to enjoy being by yourself, man. This is a lonely road also. Okay? A soldier, as apostles go into, soldier, the word, especially the apostle Gabar, soldier goes into the word solo. Okay? You got a mission to accomplish here, which at the end of that mission is salvation, man. Finish your course. You got to finish it, and they got to do what they got to do, but you got your own lot to fulfill. All right? I think that was all I had. Let me look around and think what else I may have. Oh, I got one. Revelation 3 verse 11. I'm going to probably jump down. It said, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Let's look up the word fast, because, some people don't know what it means. The word fast, hold fast, hold that fast. Creato, right? Something like that in the Greek. Have power, powerful, chief, rule, to get possession of. Hold the possession of what thou hast. Seize, take hold, lay hands on in order to get him into one's power, to the power of the Father, right? To hold fast, i.e. not discard or let go. To keep carefully and faithfully. Okay? So you want to hold on to this thing. This goes into, keepeth this garment, right? But you want to hold on to this. Okay? Hold fast to which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And how can another man take your crown? That bad energy will put you in a bad situation. Now, you got a stain on your name. Now you're caught up in certain situations now that you didn't have to be because you was around the wrong energy, the wrong woman, the wrong man, the wrong friends, the wrong situations. All right? So part of our purity is not being around too many 50 people. We should know. It says, the scriptures say, matter of fact, I'm going to get it. Isaiah 28, verse 9. It says, to whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. That's who you spend your time breaking down, that don't have it, that need that have that Ethiopian eunuch spirit on them. When Philip came around, how can I unless I have someone to guide me? All right? Lest they acknowledge that you understand something that they don't, and they're willing to humbly learn what you want to know. Not just around to scoff, and because there's even people that'll waste your time with listening, and they're like they getting it, but they really just there to scoff and to find holes in the, in their understanding, because it's really in their understanding, trying to find holes in the doctrine, trying to find excuses and all these other things. Okay, so being able to discern and stay away from those things are just as important. Okay, that's why the scriptures warn us, even when I'm not going to get it, but when it even comes to women in Sirach, the 25th chapter, I think it's the 19th verse, it says, marvel not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. If you're looking for a woman for the wrong reasons, instead of the helpmeet that she's supposed to be, an extension of thyself that she's supposed to be, she can lead you down a dark path. Okay, now you're heartbroken and you can't focus and you can't do this and can't do that, or she take your kids from you now that you got that deep in it, and sometimes it's for trials that you go through to build you up, afflictions that you build your faith up with. Sometimes it's just because you should have known better. Okay, not to be wasting your time in that situation. Mess around, go meet a chick at a club or something, and end up your wallet getting stolen. Or like the brother said, you end up with a flat tire or something going somewhere that you shouldn't be. These things really happen out there. And I mean, he goes even further for the next couple of minutes on great examples. Okay, I'm gonna play it as I go back to the other scripture.
That don't nobody know except for us, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe somebody else. That's it. I ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, just in general, ain't nobody perfect. But when you're hanging around people who influence you in a negative way, it's gonna be hard for you to make long-term positive decisions.
Beautiful.
Hear what I said? When you're hanging around people that's no good for you, yeah, you might be able to make a positive decision today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But can you do that next month? Can you do that a year from now? Can you do that 2 years from now?
Because at some point you're gonna have to part ways. Okay, one that I skipped over was in Matthew. No man can serve two masters. Okay, and if you're trying to connect, and you got to be agreed on something. All right, you got to be, if you hanging with people, especially with that have bad energy, you got to have an agreement on something somewhere, because you ain't got no other reason to connect. Right? Matthew 6, verse 24, no man can serve two masters. So now they going to hold this as their master, because their master ain't Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, but their money, theirs might be money or a certain achievement or goal of the world. Okay? And if you hang with them, you might have that goal. It may be 2-3 goals down the list, but now because you're with that person, it has to move up, because now it's a priority on their list. It's at the top of their list. of things to have and achieve. Right? It says no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon is the god of money, right? Now, when you look at it, even myself, you meet up with certain friends of the world, and y'all seeing eye to eye on certain things. Oh, we can kind of move in certain circles, but if that becomes too frequent for me, I damn near tear that relationship apart, because I can't turn this word off. Okay, and a lot of times you'll realize just the things you say around the Akim or the ministry, hey, the people of the world don't vibe with that. They feel like they're being constantly judged. I got one. 2nd Esdras 16 verse 49. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman. This is how a lot of, like when I read that in 1 Peter, this is how it turns out. A lot of times they mad because in a sense you are judging them. A hole of weed real quick, wild. Nah. And you want one of these beers? Nah, I don't drink malt liquor, brother. I don't get down like that. And you want bacon on your burger? Nah, I don't get down. Then eventually, it seems like a bunch of little shit, but eventually they like, man, this dude don't want it. Man, how we ever gonna be on the same page and have the same goals? Well, we don't. Okay, we don't. And when it gets to that moment, it's usually me that see the moment, and I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here. I got to get away. Okay. Verse 50, so shall righteousness hate iniquity, all right? When she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face. When he cometh, he shall defend him that diligently search out every sin upon earth. Yeah, the point was in 49. Yeah, that's a bigger picture, but the small part I wanted was that 49. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman. Okay? Y'all not gonna see eye to eye on everything. All right? And even if they kind of seem like they listen to some, it gets to a point where they're gonna have to it's gonna have to come down to decision time, right? Which is right here, Revelation 3 verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. I wish you would choose sincerely what you want. So then, because thou art lukewarm, in the middle, you kind of playing the fence, or because they're playing the fence more so, and you with somebody lukewarm, they trying to mild in your heat, put your fire out a little bit, cool down your heat. A lot of times that's just what it is. Okay? It says, neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of thy mouth. Spew thee out of thy mouth, out of my mouth. Okay, and that's not what we want, man. We don't want to be pulled to being lukewarm. We want to stay on and be around those we want to be around those that's on fire, man. All right? And so that was the point. Lord, what it was edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim, Yahshua, Bashim, Rachakodash. Until the next one, Shalom.